Hello, ladies and gentlemen. In today's lesson, we are going to be modeling subtraction using algebra tiles. So let's first start off with the concept of zero pairs, because zero pairs are super important for modeling subtraction. Now recall that if I have a positive 1 and a negative 1, and I add them together, they will equal 0. They will basically cancel each other out. Okay, this concept, as I said before, is really important when we're going to model subtraction. Let's start off with a really basic problem, one that you already know how to solve. We're going to do 5 minus 3 equals 2. And I want to start off with this basic problem because we already know the answer is 2. So we can see how algebra tiles can help us solve a problem such as this. Okay, so what we need here is we're going to take 5 positive tiles. Okay, 3, 4, and 5. And the problem says 5 minus 3. And so I like to think of the minus as take away. Minus equals take away. So what this is really saying is I have 5 and I want to take away positive 3. So I can do that simply by just dragging 3 away. Here's 1, 2, and 3. And so when I take away 3, I'm left with 2. Therefore, we prove that 5 minus 3 equals 2. Okay. All right, let's try something a little more complicated. What if I want to do the problem -6 minus a -1? And I'm putting this -1 in parentheses just to sort of group the numbers together. So this looks a lot better than -6 minus -1. That looks kind of funny. So I put the -1 in parentheses to show that it's -6 minus -1. Remember, this is like saying -6 take away -1. So I'm going to start with 6 negative tiles. Okay. You can also group them together, copy them, and paste. That might make it a little faster. So I have 6 negatives, and I'm going to take away -1. By taking away -1, I'm left with a total of 5 negatives. So I can conclude that -6 minus a -1 is equal to -5. That's kind of interesting, right? Because we usually think about subtraction as making our problem smaller, or our answer will get smaller. But in this case, since we subtracted a negative, it actually made our answer a little bit bigger. -5 is greater than -6. Something to keep in mind. Okay, so far it's been pretty easy. We've just been taking away tiles. But it gets a little bit more complicated when we get into a problem that looks like this. So let's do -3 minus 1. Okay, this says -3 take away positive 1. So we're going to start with -3, and then we are going to take away a positive 1. Let's see how we can do this. We will start with a -3 tiles. And we need to take away a positive 1. Okay, here we have a problem. We have only negative tiles. We do not have any positive tiles, and we cannot take away positive 1. But this is where zero pairs come into play. If I create a zero pair, I have not changed the value of my number. I could write this as oops, I could write this as -3 plus 0, because I have a 0 pair here along with my 3 negatives. -3 plus 0, anything plus 0, is still equal to itself. So -3 plus 0 is still -3. So I have not changed my value. But by adding a positive tile, I can now take it away, leaving myself with -4. So that is also interesting. If I take a -3 and I subtract a +1, I get an answer of -4. Okay, let's see one more problem. Suppose I am given the problem 4 minus -2. Okay, in this problem I'm going to start with +4, and I'm going to take away -2. Okay, we can already see, if you visualize this, if I start with +4 and I'm trying to take away -2, I'm not going to be able to do that. There's not going to be any negatives for me to take away. So I know right off the bat that I'm going to need to make some extra 0 pairs. Okay, 4 take away -2. So I start with 4. I know that I need to take away -2 tiles, 2 negative tiles. Okay, so that means I'm going to have to build 2 0 pairs. Once again, by building those 0 pairs, I'm not changing the value of 4. I still have a value of 4. I could show you by moving the pairs right above my 4, and you'll see that I still have the value of 4. But now I can take away the -2, and I am left with an answer of +6. So we can conclude that 4 take away -2 equals +6. All right, that's my lesson for you on using algebra tiles to model subtraction. And now I have a problem set for you to work on.